that's just my preliminary suggestion, and it's certainly up to all of you.
Okay.
What's the property maintenance ordinance say?
So Dave and I talked about that. Property maintenance basically says that property owners, I think, are responsible for maintenance of sidewalks, curbs, improvements out to the cartway. I think that's roughly it. So that could certainly be interpreted to require abutting property owners to maintain those trees. The township second-class code also has some language that says the township may remove hazardous trees from the right-of-way. And then it has some requirements if the township chooses that. So you really have a choice to go either way. And obviously, I think, the budget is gonna come into play here, so.
Okay, well, I think that's where we go. We go look at the budget and try to figure out what the cost impacts of even thinking about handling that would be. So, yeah. Any other comments?
No, I agree.
Okay. Steve, do you have any thoughts you'd like to share?
If it's deemed a potential hazard for, we have to, again, wait, but it's gonna have to come down to our budget, what we feel comfortable, and if we deem that they were hazard. Obviously, somebody just can't call up and say, hey, we need a tree that's in your right way, but if it's deemed dead and a hazard, which I've noticed throughout the area.
Okay.
All right, let's discuss it.
Yeah, let's think about this as our budget. Okay.
Roll from there.
Okay. All right, bus stop request at Woodland Drive and Becker Road.
So this was an issue that was brought up a couple months ago, concern about children waiting, I think on the side of the road on Woodland Drive for the school bus, and there was some question about whether or not the township should install basically a waiting area for the kids. There's a little, again, we sort of come back to the budget and then precedents, whether or not the township wants to get into the business of building bus stop areas. One suggestion as an alternative to actually constructing a bus waiting area would be maybe, in areas where there's interest in this, maybe Steve could go out and give them some suggestions and maybe bring some stone out for them, and then if people are wanting to take the initiative, then they could maybe put a stone area that's off to the side. So that was one suggestion, if we don't want to get into the bus waiting area
The
business.
question I have is how many locations do you think this would apply to? I mean, I know we're talking about one.
Right, I don't know, Steve might be able to speak to this
No,
more.
honestly, I wouldn't know all the bus stops. I mean, it's
Yeah, I would imagine it's, there's probably quite a few,
I
right?
can't call him.
And so,
Okay. And you did not get a response from this?
from the neighbor, no.
Yeah. All right.
Well, if we're installing them, then who maintains them? Who's responsible for maintaining them?
Well, it
Who
would
installs
probably
them?
be us, right, if we're
So that
installing
would
them.
make a liability against us if we don't maintain them.
Yes.
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 Also, he was saying there's some responsibility just to maintain.
And what's the school?
Just another 2 cents. One thing that you might want to consider too, if you start to do any type of shelters like that, is maybe make them small enough that they could be moved to other locations. I say this because when I moved into my home, my kids were much younger, a bunch of kids getting on the school bus. Now, in our small cul-de-sac, there's nobody on the bus. So if you do decide to get into this endeavor, it might be a good idea to have something that's pretty solid, that if it's not no longer needed at a particular location, you literally could pick it up,
Yeah.
move it to another, like almost have like.
I don't think we were talking about shelters.
No.
We're just talking about a little
Oh,
pad
I'm
area.
sorry.
That's way,
Okay, sorry. I thought it was- Where's the school board?
I don't know. I don't know how the school comes into play with
They
bus
send
stops.
bus routes and pickup places. They identify.
They don't have a responsibility.
They don't have responsibility about it. They just
And they change every 6 months. And they can't pick up the kids now. So, I know right now, after last night, Tuesday night's meeting, they're up to $1.4 million to put in a stoplight on Philadelphia Avenue, Coverdale Township, because of the infight. And that's with an $800,000 grant from Senator Mitch. So, all I can say is if you start getting into the politic end of it, the only thing is we have to look at, I feel, is the safety of the children. That's what this was asked for.
I mean, that's something we have to take care of. So we gotta find a creative way to fix this. I mean, we've gotta do something.
Jeff, is there a map that identifies where the bus stops are in the township?
They've been I'll check quickly, get one. At the
That might be
current rate.
helpful.
Yeah, I can
Yeah, it'd be helpful.
It's funny right now because there's such, it's not funny because there's so short drivers. I know people that get calls in the middle of their route, oh, this was missed.
Yeah.
Could you please go and pick this up? And it's 3 townships over. Kids aren't making it to school, or other ones are getting home at 6 o'clock at night.
You never, we could have some ideas to the number and what the locations might be
But I
required.
can find out,
Bus stop.
I'll contact quickly, and find out where the spot is.
All right, we'll take a look at that and see kind of how many stops we have. How about that?
Let's get it better.
There should be a number of children too.
You find the stops at the transportation, if you go to Warehouse Transportation website, see the stops.
Because I know some kids are picked up at their house, but when the kids are gathering several miles from that.
That's where it's an issue. Okay, we'll look into mapping of the stops and that way we can better understand.
Resolution 2021, fourth reading, resolution appointing Barbara Landis as zoning hearing board alternate. So I think you just.
So
need a
this,
motion on
yeah, this is just a follow-up from last month. We didn't actually have a resolution adopting, to sign to appoint her to the zoning hearing board. So tonight we have sort of finished that process. So we have a resolution before you.
Okay, so I make a motion to adopt resolution 2021-14 to appoint Barbara Landis as zoning hearing board alternate. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, Board.
Okay. New business. Introduce Trooper Loretta Marie.
All right, I guess I'll go first.
Loretta.
I'm not Loretta. And my public speaking usually goes license, registration, and proof of insurance. Don't stop me and interrupt me because that's my spiel. Just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Dave Webb. I'm the new station commander at Skipback. I've been here from every rank, trooper, corporal, sergeant, and now I'm back as a lieutenant. It's an honor to be back serving here. We have about 60 people at Skipback total. In Troop K, there's at least 3 times that many. So just wanted to introduce myself. We're not here, this is part of my duties, is to go to the township meetings. We're either here tonight or we are going to be at Upper Perk, has something going on. We're really I'm into the community. We've just gone to a Methacton football game. We've walked kids to school. We cover a vast area, so we cover multiple school districts. We cover Solderton, if you can believe it, because it's on this side of Salford Hills. We just walked the kids at North Penn. My kids both go to North Penn. One's a graduate. I only live in Bucks, so I'm very close to the area. I have a car at home. Again, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but we are here for you. Again, if there's problems like that, call the station and we'll send somebody out. I know it's very contentious. I have a friend running for DA in Bucks, and I know he's losing signs too. It's ridiculous, right? Let's just call it what
They
it
don't
is.
give
It's
the signs
ridiculous.
away.
I know. So, you know, I hope that if I put my sign up, they don't steal it, because I do have a car at home sometimes.
I have to say
It doesn't
something.
really work, because I do have a one-way street, and they drive down the road
You
the
know,
wrong way.
people are upset that signs are being stolen. I know in my neighborhood, signs were shot at.
All right, so that is definitely a problem, okay? So don't hesitate to call any
Yeah,
of
right.
this stuff. I mean it, like, the state police is vast, and we were just talking outside, is when the class comes out of the academy, you could go to Erie, right? So, but there are 4,400 of us. So it is like we could call in resources, right? Are we gonna need the resources in Upper Fred? I would hope not, right? I would hope not that we don't have that. But in a snap of a finger, the guys from the Turnpike here, the guys from Troop K, that media, we will be here, right? We have someone covering the area, you look a little hesitant, but we do have someone up in this area every day. All right, there's zoned coverage, and we always have someone up in Upper Fred or in the area. The midnights is a little bit different. I don't want to go into how many that we have, because that's really an issue with just security for us. If you call and say that there's a sign stolen, and it takes us a little while, that might not mean that we're not interested in that, but it is a triage, right? If there's a burglary going on and it's active, we're going to tell you, or they're going to tell you that we're coming, but we're taking our time, right? Anyone who's had a crash in the snow, right? Listen, I can't even get off of 422 sometimes without seeing the next crash come. And I actually had a guy left his car door open, and it took 12 hours for me to get back to skip back from 422 to tell him that his car door was open in the snowstorm. So it takes us a little while, but we are here for you. Again, like I said, we're really into the community presence. We have a couple of community events coming up, so I don't want to take any more of your time. Trooper Myrie will give you a little spiel on, she's our community services officer. Again, if there's a community event here and you wish for us to come, we do have access to a helicopter, to the K-9 unit. Our CERT team could come out. Our CERT team is the SWAT team, we call it CERT. But again, we are a vast department, and we're here for you. That's who we serve. We're not here to be any strong arm, you know. I just wanted to introduce myself. Like I said, if I wasn't here, I'd be up at the Upper Perk meeting tonight. So if you have any problems, I'm available. I'm there at 6 o'clock in the morning, every morning. So if you have an issue, come in and talk to me. Honestly, it's really an honor to serve again back here. I've been to Lancaster. I've been to the Turnpike. I was at the casino. I needed a little break. And then I needed a break from the casino. So now I'm back. But again, if you have any questions, I do know the area. It was good to get back in Lancaster. I didn't know one road. I knew two. I knew how to get there to get home. Right here, I could get anywhere in our coverage area. Some of the township has again grown. We were just talking about Methacton. I went to William Tennant High School in '86, and Methacton was an empty field. We thought that they were farmers. You know? So, and then when I got back there, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really built up. So there's not a place that I have not been in the township. All right. So, any questions for me?
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Take it away.
I think you covered everything else here.
I'm sorry.
I did want to piggyback off of your signage. As long as it's not private property that you're posting it on, you're good. It's not stolen. You do have to get permission from the actual owner of the property.
This was the horse ranch across from where I live. We've been friends with the owner there for a long time.
Okay, so as long as you got
And we all have
permission and it's
permission to do
okay.
that, yeah.
All right, so then you can actually report it stolen if that were the case, and then we'll just put it out in, type of a report.
Okay.
What do they consider right away for signs, like around corners, like the street sign?
As long as it's
I know when
not
you're running,
blocking.
you have 30 days of what they call local, let's just say the street sign over here on Kniford Road.
Mhm.
We've been told we could put signs there because it's not anybody's public property, but it has to be taken down 2 days after the election. Is that still?
One of the
As long as it's not.
that you have
private
to
property.
understand about the state police is local ordinances are not, we do not enforce them. That is like one of the biggest things that we have an issue with. Sometimes the noise now, if there's a noise and we go out, like for a party or something, usually they quiet it down. But the right of way, again, was in construction. The right-of-way property is yours to mow and take care of, but actually, right, the township would own it, right, up until the curb or where your water line comes in. So I would say that, yes, if you put it on the public property and it's stolen from there, again, call us and we'll come out and take that report.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so I'm the community service officer. A lot of people send their complaints to me as far as like speeders, if there's people loitering around like certain, areas. Homelessness, like the townships, like sometimes they'll reach out to me with your complaints and let me know that there's like a homeless person basically sleeping in the park. The complaints come to me and I would forward it out to the supervisors, the lieutenants, and sometimes I'll basically just go around and just see what I can do to assist. If there's complaints about speeders in a residential area, I work the later shift around the times that it's actually, the complaints are actually being put out. And I'll sit out there, run some radar, I'll stop the motorist, I'll let them know, I'll yell at them and give them a warning, or I'll actually give them a citation. It just depends on the situation, because we don't really have to cite, but sometimes people deserve it. So if you actually send your complaints to the supervisors there, they'll forward it to me, and I'll see what I can do about it. There was recently a complaint about someone taking video of their child getting off of a school bus. That's not okay. You know what I mean? Because there's a privacy issue there. Everybody doesn't want their child to be recorded. Oh, look, he looks so cute. Look at my child. But you have other students, coming off the bus to where that's not, it's not private. You have the facial recognition thing. Like, a lot of parents are against that. So, so we do have troopers going out to basically, do a scan of the area. If we do see something like that, we'll definitely bring it to the person's attention. It's not okay. All right, so just reach out to us if we have any issues, reach out to me. Also, we do fun things. I conduct presentations about safety, scams, any form of like crime, harassment, what else? Personal safety, anything. I do have a ton of PowerPoint presentations if there's any type of community event that you guys want to put together. If there's, like we have an uptick of identity theft and fraud. That's basically the issues that we're having. It just seems like it's never ending. So if you have any questions, if you want me to come out and talk about it, how to better protect yourself, how to not open those emails, those links on your email, because it's a little suspicious. Don't open it via email. Go outside of your email and open it separately. Like, there's different things that we can actually talk about. It's like the Amazon thing. Oh, what are they talking about? My account is... No, do not open it through your email. Open it separately. All right, so that's just a little something that you guys can take with you. But it's nice to meet you all. I'll try to come out here more often and make it known that, we are around, because we're constantly roving around. Sometimes we do have things that we have to take care of out here, and we're assisting other, our zone partners, but we are around, as the lieutenant said. Okay? So it's nice to meet everyone.
All right, thank you.
Budget reaffirmed tax rates.
Absolutely. So at this time, this is kind of the time of year where you, as the board, kind of give us some guidance as to whether or not tax rates would like to see them stay the same, or if you would like them to be adjusted for the upcoming year. So at this point, our real estate tax is 1.62 mils. That does get distributed between general purpose and emergency services. You don't have to commit to that proportion at this point in time, but our overall real estate tax is 1.62 mils. It has been that rate since 2010. The per capita tax is $15. The earned income tax is 1%, and the local services tax, the application for a tax is $52. All right.
All right, so I make a motion to confirm the real estate tax rate will remain at 1.620 mils. Per capita tax will remain at $15. $1,000. The earned income tax will remain at 1%, and local services tax will remain $52. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Announcement. Assisted recycling, Friday, October 29th, 2021, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Anything else? Okay. I make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a good night.